session. Okay, so let's open our Anaconda Navigator. Have you practiced that two examples? What we have done, when you're opening the file, if the file is not existed or file existed, so with the mode of write, did you executed that particular part or not? Akhil, Pavani, Raj. So so this thing, W, the file is not existed. If you're trying to opening the file, so here what happens? The file has created, right? Did you executed the statements? Hmm?
I did.
Okay, if the file is existed with some data, so did you observe what happens?
I don't remember. I was just doing it along with you.
Okay, so I need see here it's not about execution of the program. Here we should understand what is happening here. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so here I just want to explain one more time. So here initially I don't have a file which is a sample.txt. Okay, this is the file is not existed, right? Then what happens? Not existed, but when we are opening the file in write mode,
it would create a file.
but when we are opening the file with the W mode, then what happens?
It would create a new file.
Yes, then it's created the new file, right? New sample.txt file. This is what we observe or not? This is my conclusion of this particular program. So when comes to here, sample.txt file, which is already existed and which is having some data, yes or no? So this is the same file only you created previous program, right? And you entered some information, and the same file you are trying to be opening in W mode, then what happens? If the file is existed, the sample file, so you can say if the file is existed with some data, then what happened?
It would delete the data and
Yes, then
remove.
data has deleted or removed. Okay, then open the file, then open the file with fresh mode or not. So the data, it doesn't have anything, right? So I mean the file, it doesn't have any kind of information, so that so the file was open in the fresh mode. This is what we observed in our previous class. Okay, now what I want to do, same thing I want to do with help of the W plus. Is it same for W or W plus or not? We'll see now. See here, sample1.txt file, which is not existed in my current working directory. In my current working directory, I have only sample.txt file, but now I am giving the file is sample1.txt, and this is the file I'm opening with W mode. Sorry, W plus mode. If I'm opening with W plus mode, then what happens? Here also the file can be created or not? The file is not existed. If you are executing the same program, here the first thing could be a file can be created and it was in a 0 location, and here we can enter some data, and the data can be redirecting into sample1.txt file. Clear? So previously this is a sample1.txt file which is not existed, and just few seconds back we created this one and we entered. This is the data we have it. If you want to check it what data we have it, we just open that one manually, and this is the data we entered from the Python program. So the data will be redirecting into this particular sample1.txt file. Is it clear or not?
Yes.
I think we don't have any difference between as of now W and W plus. Okay. Now, if the file is existed with some data, then what happened? We'll see now. So you are opening the file in W plus mode. You're opening the file with the W plus mode. If the file is existed with some data and the data has deleted and it will be opened the file with a fresh mode or not, we'll see now. Okay, let me open the file sample.txt and which is having some number of characters here. Okay, same file you are opening in W plus mode. When you're opening the file in W plus mode, okay, so here the first thing is that the file data can be deleted. Is it really the data is deleted or not? If you want to check it, then simply you can open this file. Previously you have some numbers are there, but now no data we have it. So the data has deleted. It is same like a W mode only. Okay, so here also we can enter some data and this is the data we enter, and we entered the 21 characters so that the cursor is 21. Clear? So as of now there is no difference between the W and W plus mode. No, my intention is file is existed if the data was deleted, right? So I can enter some new data. So cursor, so you are enter some new data. After that one, before we close, what I could do, I can set the position at 0 0. So when I set the position at 0 0, that means you're setting the beginning of the file. You're setting the cursor at the beginning of the file. After you set the cursor at the beginning of the file, then I just try to read the data what we have it. I just read the data with help of the read method. So with help of the read method, I can read the entire data from the file, and after that one, I would like to try to print the data. After I'm printing the data, I want to know the cursor location. Okay, but this time you can try to observe here, you open the file in W mode, not W plus mode. In this situation, W means only for writing. If you are using the read method, you will be getting the error here. Okay, so here I can enter some data. I am Anjan Kumar. So this is the data I entered from the keyboard. This data will be redirecting into my existing file, and after that one I can set the cursor at 0 0 so that my cursor is 0 0. Okay, after 16 characters I set the cursor at 0 0 location. That means at beginning of the file, and I print the cursor location. After that one, I just try to use the read method. When I used the read method, because of the 14th line, we got this error, unsupported file operation. Okay, so here, what we understood here, okay, if the file is opened in W mode, can't do the read operations. Is it clear my point? You will get this kind of errors. Same program. If I do the W plus, then what happen we'll see. So here again, it was data has deleted and you entered some new data. I am Anjan Kumar. So data science, machine learning, deep learning, Python. So just you try to enter some characters. Okay, see here you entered the approximately 75 characters you entered. So 75 characters, so the cursor is 75 location, and so at 11th statement you are set the position at 0 so that the cursor is 0, and I started reading the I started reading the file. Okay, so I started reading the file. So we have a 75 characters we have it. So 75 characters we read, and so the cursor location now it's 75. Then after you closed here. So here we used the read method when I'm using the W plus. So if the file is opened in W plus mode, so both read and write we can do. both reading and writing we can do. Okay, is it clear? Is this clear or not?
Yeah.
Same program,
Yeah.
we can enter M Anjan Kumar. So line data science, machine. So 25 characters. Okay. Even it is not taking the new line. Okay. From the read, so we can't give the multiple lines of data. Okay, so that we are getting only one line. It can be considered as the only one line. Okay, anyway, so this is the way you can read and write both. We can do when you're opening the file in W plus mode. Okay,
And then what happens if you don't put the cursor back at the 0? Like, does it read from that particular point onwards?
see here the file is always doing the operation from the cursor, where the cursor location is available. From that particular point onwards, which is try to do the operation. Okay, let me take a small example. So this is my file. Okay, so this is the data we have it. So like this we have multiple data elements, we have it. Okay, see now the cursor is in this particular location. Okay, if you start reading, it is start reading from here onwards, not from the beginning. Okay, for example, if the cursor is end of the location, so which is start reading from the end of the location, but we don't have any data after end of the file, right? So that it won't printing anything actually. So in Python programming language, we can do only two operations. Either the cursor you can set at the beginning of the file or else at end of the file only, not in the middle of it.
Okay.
So here you are setting the, for example, you enter the 35 characters. For example, if you enter the 35 characters, so this is the 35 characters. Okay. Now after you are entering the 35 characters, the cursor is blinking at end of the file. So if you are using this method, it can be supported, but it is not reading from the 0 onwards. Okay, it is start reading from the where the cursor is available. The cursor is available at end of the file, so that after end of the file you don't have any kind of data. So this is the method. It will be giving a nothing. It won't print anything actually. Okay, it was executed, but it won't print anything. But I want to know that I want to know some information from the beginning of the file. That's the reason I'm just using the seek method 0 comma 0 when I'm using the 0 comma 0, which is setting the position at the beginning of the file, so that from here onwards we can start do any kind of operation. We can write again, we can read again, so anything we can do it again. Okay,
Yeah, got it.
now so very basic programs again we will see. Append, we'll see the append. For example, when you're opening the file in append, okay, so here sample1 dot is a file which is not existed. For example, sample2.txt file. So this is the file is not existed, but you're opening the file in W mode. Then what happens? Then what happens?
In append mode, it errors.
It can be created in append mode. If the file is not existed, if you open the file in append mode, it can be created.
Okay.
So see here the file has created or not. Sample2.txt file which is not there before it. So you are just executed. So this is the file you're opening in A mode, but this file is not existed, so that you created this particular file. After that one, the cursor is in a 0 location. So here we can enter some data. So here I can enter some data. So here you enter the 10 characters, so that it was printing only 10 characters. Let me try for the same thing. Let me try for the same thing. So here the sample 2.txt file is existed with some data. Then what happens? Data is safe and file can be opened. This is the conclusion of this particular a mode. So here you're opening the file sample2.txt file. So previously I am Anjan. So this is the 10 characters we have it. So here you're opening the file, right? So you don't need this one. So again we can enter some new data. So see, careful observe here. Previously I have a 10 characters, right? So when you're opening the file, so which is the cursor location at end of the file? The file can be opened from the end of the file. So the cursor which is available at end of the file. If you are trying to be writing some information, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, something else. So 5 characters you enter. Now the cursor is, it's a 15th location. Okay, same program. If you are entered, already 15 characters are there, right? Already 15 characters are there, right? Again, if you are entered, so it is starting with 15. So the file data is same. The file data is safe. Now it's a 20 characters. So first 10 characters, next 5 characters, next 5 characters. Totally 20 characters are there or not, we just check here, which is there. But this is you entered from the one program, this 5 characters you entered from the another program, this 5 character you entered from the another program. Okay, but every time the default the file cursor location is end of the file when you're opening the file in a mode. So intentionally I can set the cursor at 0 position. So default it's what? It's a end of the file, right? Now I set the position at 0 0. I can try to modify my first 5 characters. I just try to modify my first 5 characters. What happens, we'll see now. See, total we have a 20 characters are there, so that the cursor is 20 location, but with help of the 7th line I set the position at 0. So I started modifying the first 5 characters, whether it is really modified or not. So 1 2 3 4 5, this 1 2 3 4 5, where it can be written, whether the first 5 characters or else end of the file. I already told you, when you're opening the file in append mode, we cannot modify the existing data, so that it is not at all modifying the first 5 characters. So we have the 1 2 3 4 5 can be added at end of the file. Even you set the position at 0 0 and you can try to modify the data, but it is not at all modify whatever the data you enter, that it can be appending to at end of the file. Clear?
Yep.
File data cannot be modified. Okay, same things we can try with a plus. Even a plus also, if the file is existed, okay, with some data, the file data can be safe and it can be open, and you can able to we cannot able to modify. Okay, see here we have a 25 characters, and here we can enter some data. For example, 5 characters, again it could be 30 only, it's not modifying the existing data. And you know what, you can try to give you some new file. If the file is not existed, then it can be creates the file. So the same thing we can note it here. If the file is existed, if the file is not existed and you're opening the file sample3.txt file with a plus mode, if the file is not existed, then what happens? The file can be created. So 0 0 location, and here we can enter the 5 characters. So 5 characters on it can be entered actually. Okay, so this is the way. So a and a plus, we don't have any difference, but now we can look for the difference of the A and A plus. So we just try for the A and A plus difference. So if the file is opened in A mode, only write we can do, only write only, right? So here if you open the file sample 5, whatever it is, okay, sample4.txt file, so default it's a 00 location, okay, and you entered some data and 6 characters you enter, and you are trying to be read that particular 6 characters, which is not possible when you're opening the file in A plus mode. Okay, now we can do the A plus mode. The file is existed with some data, so when the file opening in A mode or A plus mode, so both read and write we can do, both read and write can be possible. So here we already 30 characters are there. Here you enter the some characters here. So total this 40 characters can be accessed, or we can read from the file. Okay. This is a small difference between the A and A plus. Any questions till now what I explained?
No.
No? Okay, now we can try for the read. So read means we can use either R or R plus. So R means only read and R plus means only both write and read we can do. For example, you are opening the file, but the file is not existed. Sample 6.txt. This sample 6.txt file, which is not there, but you're trying to be open the file. You're trying to be open at the file. Okay, and so we can try to be close it. See, file is not existed, right? If the file is not existed, if you try to be open the file, you will be getting the file not found error. Okay, you can't open the file if the file is not existed. So this is fine. Now sample.txt, here we can write some new data. Hello, I am Kumar Anjan. So like we have some characters are there. Okay, we have some characters, or we have some number lines of characters are there. Okay, so you're opening the file with some data. So read mode only, you're opening the file, and now what I want to do, I just want to read only, I just want to apply only read method. If I used the read method, it can be read entire data. Okay, so default it is a cursor location is 0 0. So do you need that cursor location every time? So I can set the position after you read the data, so the cursor location at end of the file. Now I can set the position at 0 0. I just use only one read line method. If I use only read line, only one line it can be read. After you read only one line, if I use one more line of one more read line, it can be read only one line actually. So here I used the two read line method so that we can read only two lines. Okay, again what I can do, I can set the cursor at a 0 0. Now the cursor will be, it's a 0 position. Now what I can do, I can read the all the lines in one shot. Read lines. When I used the read lines, it can read all the lines, but each line it could be one element of the list element. See, so first thing will be this is the thing we got because of the read method. So you're reading the entire data. After that one, you read only 2 lines. So this line and this line only we read. I am Anjan Kumar and hello, you read only 2 lines. Now we're setting again 0, 0. If I use the read line, it was reading the all the lines. So each line it could be what? One element of the list. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you understood what is the difference between the read line and the read and everything, right? Now, so you have some number of characters are there. So I just want to print that cursor location. Cursor. So if you want to know the cursor location, then we just use the tell method. I want to read only 5 characters or 10 characters, first 10 characters only. So you just read only first 10 characters, so that it was showing me that cursor location is the 10 only. Even we have some number of characters are there. See, we have approximately this many characters are there, approximately 40-50 characters are there, but here you just given only 10, read of 10. So first 10 characters only we can read. Okay, from the cursor where the cursor is available, from that particular cursor location onwards, only 10 characters only we can read. Okay, when I'm using some number. So that kind of thing also we can do with help of the read of some number, you can provide it. Okay, so now I just want to try to write it. I just want to try to write it. Okay, just want to try to write it. So if I'm using the write method, if I'm trying to using the some write method, okay, so this could be an error. So file supported operation, unsupported file operation actually. So you open the file in R mode, so you can't do the write operation. Okay, but same thing we can do in R plus, read, write both, it can be happened. So I want to know the where the cursor is available after you read, and after you write also you want to know the cursor location. Okay, and you know what, I can set the cursor at the beginning of the file, and you can modify the existing data also. I can try to modify the existing data. So you just try to modify the first 5 characters. For example, this thing will be some numbers, and so again what I should do, I can tell you where my cursor is available. So from the 0, 0 onwards, how many characters you entered, so that could be the value. For example, here you entered the 9 characters, so that it will be returns the 9 here. Okay, it could be enter the 9 here, it could be print the 9 here. Now what I can do, I can set the cursor location, it's 0, 0, and I want to know the where the cursor is available. For that one I can use the tell method, and again I can use the read method to read the entire data. Then I can able to try to print the tell method. Okay, see here, so this is my original data, and total 50 characters are there, and you entered the some number of characters here. So for example, here you entered the some number of characters, so that 87 characters are there. Okay, after that one, what I do here, I was try to set the cursor at the beginning of the file. Okay, so when I set the cursor at the beginning of the file, and now the cursor is in this location, from this location you enter some this particular data, it's a purely characters. So first 5 characters are replaced, first 9 characters are replaced. Okay, so after you replace this one, so again you can start setting the position at the beginning of the file. You just again use the read method, so it whatever you entered, that entire data it can be read. Okay, so it is just having 87 characters on because of our existing data you are trying to be modifying. So this is the thing we can consider actually. Okay, R plus, we can modify existing data also. We can modify the existing data. In A plus, we cannot modify the existing data. In W plus, we don't have existing data. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
No.
No.
I would like to go for upload this particular file handling Jupyter file. You can try your own. If you have any question, please let me know. I will try to answer you actually. So this is about file handling. So in future, if you are getting any kind of file handling concept, and will definitely, okay, so I think it can help you actually. Yes, I uploaded. You just go through this particular file handling and we can try to work on this particular area. Okay. Any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Yep. So we'll connect tomorrow for continuation of the next module.
Okay. Thank you.